Well, Donald Trump announced part of his foreign policy team. He spoke to Fox Business about it this morning.
I have not spoken to them, but I will tell you whatever they tell me, and they're going to be advisors, and they're highly respected, as you know. You know some of them. Some of them have been on your show many times, but Walid is an example.
So Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions, a Fox News anti-terrorism expert, you just heard Donald Trump refer to him, Walid Phares, and former Defense Department Inspector General Joseph Schmitz. So with me now, Trump foreign policy advisor, Fox News terror analyst, Walid Phares. So Walid, first and foremost, congratulations. It is a nice honor. Everybody knows your work and your areas of expertise, so we wish you well. I want to know, though, on a side note, if you have spoken to Donald Trump today specifically about the terror attacks in Belgium.
Not today. We exchange in a close circle with the top analysts or top advisors of the campaign, but it just happened this morning that he and I were almost on the same show in the morning at Fox and Friends. Basically, the position is that what has happened this morning in Brussels is basically a message to us that this could happen here again, and of course a message to the international community that there is a major problem generating what has happened, and that problem is called ISIS in Iraq, in Syria, and in Libya.
So Walid, I want to lean on your expertise. What is the best way to handle the terrorist threat going forward? As we've seen from the images and as we've heard from reporting, the airports pre-check-in have been identified as quote-unquote soft targets. I mean, anyone can walk into an airport.
Exactly. We are discovering little by little that all the areas that are not secured by our law enforcement are insecure, and the jihadists will try to get there. I mean, think this morning of the fact that any terror jihadist can get to the ticket counting, all that area from the taxi parking all the way inside. But think of something else. The arrival area is also open, and people could go in and do something similar to today. So we have a lot of areas to take care of. But beyond that, it's really how to be preemptive and find these networks before they act. That's where we should be changing the rules of the game.
So, Walid, let's just say the election comes. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Donald Trump wins and you are on this team, as we know that you are. What is the #1 first move that you would put in place so that the U.S. and the rest of the West becomes preemptive?
Well, first of all, we want to understand from the bureaucracy and the administration what do we have. I mean, there are many things that are, you know, from the premises of law enforcement and national security areas that we don't know much about. So the next administration, whomever that would be, will have to be briefed. And based on that, we'll devise, or they will devise, the strategies. But one area I would recommend, if I have a chance to have my say, would be to identify that ideology. Once you would do that, you would win 50% of the war, because our analysts within government, and I have been, you know, giving seminars and lectures across the agencies for the last 15 years, our analysts have a problem. If they cannot use this ideology to identify the beginning, the early stages, the genomes of the jihadists, when will we meet them? In the airports, on the trenches? So that would be my first recommendation to do, which is a problem because the administration, the current administration for the last 7 years didn't accept to do.
All right, Walid, we thank you as always. We're glad to have you here. Walid Phares joining us there, terrorism expert and now on Donald Trump's cabinet team.